Good afternoon, welcome to our debate. We're going to be discussing the argument of the refugee acceptance. We have Alfonso, Paloma, and Nando for the team in favor, and Aldo, Paola, and Alana for the team against. We're going to start with Paloma in the team of favor.
Every human deserves to be accepted. It is practically a human right. And also, it is common sense to stop these people from suffering and give them a hand and a house. As an evidence, in the 1955 convention, it was established that every refugee should have help from other states when they're in need.
Okay, so now we're going to go with the team against, and it's going to be Paola.
I have an argument of what the delegate Paloma said. The refugees will consume resources that are already in short supply, such as money and housing. In northern Jordan, there's water scarcity and it's turning into a crisis. Syrians consume 35 liters per day.
Okay, so now we're going to continue with Alfonso.
As you said, there might be a crisis, but we also have good points about security. It is good to accept refugees because if the countries don't accept people, they have to go back with their families in Syria, and the ISIS are constantly promoting their ideals, and most of the people that have declined the refugee may enter to the ISIS army, and this will make bigger. Evidence is that the US has killed over 20,000 ISIS fighters in its air campaign, and yet the group size has been largely unaffected.
Okay, so now we're going to continue with Alana.
As the delegate of Alfonso said, that they want to accept the refugees because they don't want them to go back and get influenced by the ISIS. I want to, well, my point is that accepting refugees in certain parts of the world, they are disguised, like the terrorists are disguised as refugees, and these will, like the terrorists are placed into refugees that come into Europe, and this could be really affecting the situation in Europe, since my evidence is that they have arrested in Germany. German forces have arrested 2 men suspected of the Islamic State militants preparing an attack in the German capital. And my other evidence is that the Islamic State militants have leaked into Europe disguised as refugees, and the head of Germany domestic intelligence said that the day after security forces was threatened on the potential on an ISIS attack on Berlin.
Okay, so now we're going to continue with Nando.
Alright, so I believe that the refugees are the best source of information the government can get from ISIS. My evidence is that in 2014, a former CIA officer, Patrick Ellington, explained that was the best information they can get about the refugees, about ISIS and their territory.
Okay, so the Aldo.
Okay, so as a delegate in favor said, we could use refugees to get information about ISIS, but you have to also think about that if we accept refugees, we are also taking risks because we don't know what kind of people we are accepting in our country. They could be robbers, domestic abusers, gangsters, terrorists, or people with extreme beliefs. And as my evidence, on November 10, 2015, refugees and migrants arrived on Leros in a boat. 198 of them arrived, and 4 of them were terrorists, and on Paris they killed hundreds of people.
Okay, so we concluded with our debate. In general, the delegates against said that the refugees bring supplies crisis, and terrorists are disguised as refugees, and that we don't have the confidence to trust the refugees because we don't know what type of people they they are. And the delegates in favor said that the best source of information to get to ISIS are the refugees, and sending the refugees back to ISIS makes ISIS grow. Not only ISIS but other terrorist groups. But as the delegate Paloma said, it's human rights and common sense to accept